Hello everyone, I hope you are well. Today's video is about protagonists and heroes. A lot of people are taught in kind of an elementary way that protagonist means the same thing as hero, but it doesn't. Protagonist means one who drives the action. It's the one who causes things to happen. The explanation I use for my students is Perry the Platypus, which is from Phineas and Ferb, which is a cartoon. In this cartoon, there are always two plots. One of the plots is the main characters, and the other is this secret agent platypus and his enemy, Dr. Doofenshmirtz. The doctor always has something that he wants to do, and Perry always stops him. Because of this, even though Perry is the hero, he is not the protagonist, because he's not the one causing things to happen. He is just reacting. And this makes a pretty big difference when you look at a lot of stories about heroes' journeys, because quite often, the hero doesn't cause things to happen. The hero has very little to say in what happens. Like Maze Runner. Almost no hero interaction in Maze Runner. Hunger Games seems like it would be a situation, but no, she chooses. She makes a choice that causes her, when she does the I Volunteer as Tribute thing so her sister doesn't get taken. That makes her an active protagonist. Even though most of the rest of it is caused by other people, she makes an active choice to be a leader. This is Violet. She's a cat. Violet, what are you doing? Violet, the people want to see you. They want to see you, Violet. Okay, forget it. Anyway, so I, for most of my life, have been a protagonist. I have caused things to happen. Sometimes they were good things, sometimes they were bad things. But very little that has happened in my life has not been my fault. Very little that has happened in my life has not been something that I caused to happen. So all the really, really crazy stuff that you've heard about, many of you, has been stuff that I caused to happen. I was a protagonist. Now, occasionally I have been a hero, but quite often I have not. I've been a horrible person. But being a protagonist is exhausting. Cats, don't fight. We have such a nice place out here. Let's not fight. Dash. God damn it. Okay. Anyway. But right now, I have taken a break from being a protagonist for a little while. Because being a protagonist is exhausting. Protagonists never get to rest. You never see a story where Indiana Jones takes a break. Or the guy from 24 has a nice normal day. Or the guy who, was fifth in line to be president, but suddenly is president, has just a nice day and has a fruit cup and hugs his close friends, and that's the end of the story. Protagonists are always thrown into the middle of crap. Protagonists always have to grow, they always have to learn, they always have to move forward. And if they don't, then they're boring. So I took a little while where I was boring, and I was allowed to be happy. But that also meant that I stopped growing. And if you've met me, you know I have a problem with that. I'm not very good at not growing. I'm always learning something, or doing something, or getting some sort of college, or schooling, or job preparation, or learning a new language all of a sudden, or moving halfway across the world. I'm always doing something. And right now, being a protagonist is especially exhausting because my brain is... I work at a school where everybody speaks Swedish. Like, that's just their default. Nobody there except me has a default of English, which means most conversations I get pulled into halfway through the conversation when someone says, Chris, blah, 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 blah. So they've already been having this conversation, had all these details about it, and I come into it stumbling and because I wasn't paying attention. And the problem is that my mind is compensating by when I wake up, it's talking to me in Swedish. My mind is talking to me in Swedish, which wakes me up more. So if I wake up at 2 in the morning and I sit up and I'm like, oh, what time is it? Oh, it's 2 in the morning. I still have plenty 3 hours of sleep. Great. I lie back down and my mind is like, vad är din klockan? And I'm like, what the fuck? What? And then I'm like, oh, Swedish. And then I'm like, hey, and then it says something else in Swedish. And I'm like, oh no. And then it snowballs so that I'm spending all this time thinking about Swedish and I can't go back to sleep. And it is so frustrating. I mean, there's a lot of things that I can deal with. I was dealing with going back to the gym. I was dealing with SFE. But having a job and not getting enough sleep is freaking killing me. And we have 2 or 3 meetings a week, or we have 2 hours of Swedish, and I have to process for 2 hours straight, and it's just exhausting. But I'm a protagonist, which means that I'll get through it, and I'll come out stronger, just like Goku and Naruto and all the other protagonists. Not always good guys. And hopefully, I can go back to being a nice supporting role in other people's stories. I can go back to being the mentor, or that teacher that really supported me that time when I was really low, or the teacher who always had funny things to say but gave me the advice I desperately needed that one time, or, you know, something like that. I hope you guys are good. I'm pretty good. I'm just tired. I am very, very happy. The weather is beautiful. All of my problems are temporary, which is just ridiculous amazing. But I'm tired. Anyway, heroes are not always protagonists. Protagonists are not always heroes. Protagonists are more things that cause stuff to happen. And quite often the person that causes stuff to happen is not the hero. They're just some douche who won't leave well enough alone. Or somebody who gets involved in stuff that's none of their business. So yeah, protagonists are often busybodies. They're often the much maligned Karen that everybody complains about. So I hope that you are all well. I hope that you understand the difference between protagonists and heroes. Heroes are a lot harder to define. They usually have character growth, usually central to the story. Need to learn a lesson by the end. Anyway, that's heroes and protagonists, and also an update on my life. I'm doing well. I hope you are well. Take care. Vi ses senare. Bye. Beep boop.